Listen up, if you're an e-commerce business and your only retargeting strategy is email, that's a really bad idea, and I'm going to talk to you about why in today's video. My name is Tracy Ritter. I'm the CEO and founder of Divine Social. We are an Instagram and Facebook advertising agency, and this channel is all about helping you maximize your impact with your social advertising. So, you probably, if you're in e-commerce, you probably know that relying on only email is a bad idea. At least I hope you do. But you see, with e-commerce, only 2% of people buy the first time that they see your offer. Think about that, 2%. 2% of all of your traffic that you send to your store are going to buy on the first time. So, what people have been doing for ages, for as long as e-commerce has been in existence, is they've relied heavily on email retargeting sequences, on cart abandonment sequences, and using email to bring in the rest of that 98%. Now, email still has one of the highest return on investments of any marketing function that's out there, and it's amazing, but it's getting harder and harder to do its job and for it to be as brilliant as it always was. So if 98 out of 100 people are bouncing and fewer of those 98 people are actually opening up their emails, what's your plan to bring the rest of those people back to your site? Well, one thing that is really, really important that we make sure all of our e-commerce clients do is that we have just like you have an abandoned cart sequence, just like you have a retargeting sequence in your email, we have a matching sequence that we use through social ads. Now, if you're using a tool like Klaviyo, there's some great things you can do with audiences, but even better with a Shopify site, you can use all of the different Facebook pixel events. Add to cart, view content. There's so many things that you can do with those pixel events that you can do some really, really great retargeting sequences based upon the level of engagement of that visitor that didn't buy from you. And so it's really, really important that you be thinking about, if you want to maximize how to get that 98% of the traffic back to purchase, or get as much of that back as possible, you really want to be thinking through your advertising retargeting as much as you're thinking through your email retargeting. I mean, seriously, think about it. If I went into your Klaviyo account or whatever you're using for your emails and I looked at all of your automated sequences, my guess is that they'd be pretty comprehensive for people who didn't purchase. Now, if I opened up your Ads Manager account and I looked at your retargeting sequences, would they be equally comprehensive? Most of the time the answer is they're not. They're just not, and you're leaving so much money on the table. There's so many things that you can do to be able to really leverage getting those people back in. And again, like I mentioned earlier, leveraging the Facebook pixel, things like add to cart, view content, different category collections, things that you can drive people back with different types of content at different stages in the customer journey to get them closer to actually purchase. So what's the sales psychology behind why they didn't buy in the first place? Maybe they had just found out about you. Maybe it was cold traffic and they need to kind of build up some more know, like, and trust for why they should buy this. Maybe they're not fully convinced that you can solve their problem or you can help them get to the desired end state that they're really looking for in their lives. And that's where having really strategic retargeting sequences, not just driving them to buy, but providing the information that they need to be able to eventually buy. And that's where having what we call a post-engagement campaign, post-engagement sequences really come into play, because sometimes you need to give testimonials, sometimes you need to give social proof, you need to do frequently asked questions, all the things that you would do in emails, all the things that you have on your website. Put those things over into strategically timed out advertising campaigns that you are using to retarget those 98 people, or the 98% that don't buy the first time. If you really seriously think it through, this is something that for all of our clients, this is a huge piece of what we do, is we use something called Lucid Chart. You could use a piece of paper, a whiteboard, whatever you want, but we start mapping out the process and we start looking at, like, okay, so what could these people need? Like, if they got to this point, if they got to the shopping cart and they abandoned it, or they got to the product category page and they didn't go any further, what else would they need to have to be able to make a decision? What other information, what other things do they need to see? Maybe they need to see, if you're selling clothing, they need to see it in a variety of angles, right? I think about that all the time when I see clothing and they just have a piece, they just have the shot of the clothes, but they don't have it on a person. There's a great website, and I can't remember the name of the company, it eludes me right now, but I love, and I think more and more people are doing this, but it's a clothing example where they show the outfit on a model, but then they tell you this is how tall they are, and this is what they weigh, and this is what size that they're wearing. It just helps you get in your head to be able to say, oh yeah, no, that's gonna look right on me. So whatever it is that you're selling, how do you position it? And maybe you're not going to redo your whole website to display your product, but maybe it's in your retargeting ads that you're maybe showing them a different angle that they didn't see before. You have to start getting creative and thinking out of the box. What can you do? How do you get into the mind of the person who visited your store and didn't purchase? And please, 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 don't rely solely on email. You're leaving so much money on the table by not having comprehensive, thought out advertising, using social advertising retargeting strategies. Use the post engagement campaigns to get customer testimonials, to overcome objections before they ever happen. There's so many things that you can do with the retargeting campaign that is so much more than just slapping up a dynamic product ad or retargeting them with the product itself. So again, be thinking about that. And if you haven't grabbed our 3 pillars to successful social ads, you definitely want to get my free mini class. I talk about in that a post-engagement and a pre-engagement campaign strategy. That's our second pillar, the engagement pillar. And so you definitely want to go and grab that free mini class at divinesocial.com/3 pillars. The link should be somewhere on this video, below it, somewhere like that. But go and grab it and go through that mini class. And if you've got any questions about how to maximize, how to get back that 98% of traffic, make sure leave a comment below. I'd be happy to hear from you. And as always, we appreciate you watching. Now, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We do a new video every single Tuesday. Our goal is to help you maximize your impact with your social advertising. My name is Tracy Reuter. The best is yet to come, and we'll see you next week.